Okay, just thought I'd do a video here on kind of first impressions on the new Qashqai J12. This is the 1.3 mild hybrid version, premium, in the silver. Um, this is going to be replacing our previous Qashqai, the 2016 model we had before, the 1.5 diesel in it, which was a great car, great on fuel. Never really gave us much trouble, was serviced regularly, had a timing belt at 70,000 miles with a water pump. The only thing, we kind of put tires on it, and had a few problems with the screen washer pump. So now we've just upgraded to this model here, so just going to do a video on first impressions, spec, what the actual mild hybrid means. That's kind of a bit of a review. Okay, so the inside then. Yeah, being the premium version, on this one now you get the 12-inch screen here, with your for your radio, your sat nav of cameras, everything. It's kind of handy enough. Nice improvement. Heater controls are kind of pretty much the same as the older one. Now this is the manual version. This car here, 6-speed manual. I don't know. I just think prefer manual. If something goes wrong with it, you can put a clutch into it. You can rebuild the gearbox. The automatic version is an extra few more quid. It's pretty great when it's working and everything, but if it does start giving trouble, it can be a bit more expensive. You're probably gonna have to take it to a specialist or a dealer to be looked at. So went for the manual version. The gear change in this one does feel a little bit more, I don't know, it's just a bit notchy, I'd say. I don't know if it's kind of needs a bit of a grease up or something. Pull this boot up and maybe give it a grease. Something to look into, but it's not too bad, you know. It's still nice and easy there to select gears. The new one now comes with a push button start instead of a key like the old one, so you just have to have your key present, clutch pedal down. She fires up there. Nice dash on this one here. It's a bit similar to the old one with all your readouts and stuff. It does give you, as you can see, speed display, which is quite handy for your speed limits and everything. I do like that feature. Say the new display here has a reverse camera built in, which is nice. Front and rear parking sensors on this model as well. Has forward look camera. On your mirrors you have your blind spot indicators, which can be turned on and off. So this one here, apart from that, say pretty much the same on the dash. Has all your tire pressure monitoring. You have forward look radar on this one here. What else does this one have? I'm trying to think. All the same pretty much controls down here as the older Qashqai. Electric mirrors, electric windows, door locks. Has a start function on this one as well. Not like I kind of try and turn it off. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to start function on them. One thing I did notice from being inside this car to the old one was the space they managed to create in the legroom and front and rear. One new thing I've noticed inside the Qashqai is this button here, auto hold. You can switch it on and off. What it does is, if you have auto hold on, when you're driving and you're applying your foot brake to slow down, when the vehicle is stopped, the vehicle will keep that pressure you've been using to press your foot brake on, so the vehicle can't roll backwards if you're stopped and you haven't got the handbrake applied. If the vehicle does tend to roll backwards while you're on the flat, the ABS sensors will detect it and they will apply more pressure to the brakes to hold the vehicle in place. Yeah, I mean, people might forget to put their handbrake on, so it come in useful. I've got it switched off. I would just use the normal handbrake, but yeah, just if anyone's wondering what that button there does. All right, as I mentioned there before, this is the 1.3 mild hybrid. It's advertised at Fuel economy 5.2 to 7 litres per 100 kilometers. At the moment this one's making 8.4. That's roughly around the average of 42 miles per gallon they advertise about. Being a petrol, you would expect it to maybe make a little bit less than a diesel. I know our 1.5, you're probably averaging around 55 miles per gallon. You could get up to high 62 miles per gallon driven well on motorways and stuff. It was a very economical car. So this one's come up a little bit from the advertised, but we'll see over time how it gets on with the fuel economy, and how that goes. Just feels to me they found a lot more space in this new model vehicle for your legs, both on the passenger and the driver. It's a lot more comfy. I found in the older model my knees were a bit sort of pushed up into me. The back seats are no different. Just feels more leg room on the rear seats. It's a lot more comfortable. The interior itself, you know, is pretty basic. I'm not really too pushed for getting leather or nothing like that. The car is to cart the kids around and stuff. As you can see, they've already got a bit of dirt on it from their shoes and everything. It's good quality interior, easy to clean. You could always upgrade to the Ascenta version, which gives you leather interior if that's what you prefer. Again, the boot looks a bit bigger than the other one as well. Seems to be a bit more space in it. Depends if you want to carry around pushchairs and stuff like that. Just a bit more bigger than this one. Steel spare wheel underneath in kit. This model here comes with 17-inch alloy wheels. This one here has these what are they called here? Keystone Passion tires to it. I did notice on our older model it was a bit hard on tires. But come originally with Continental Eco Contact 5s on there. They didn't last very long. Replaced it with Eco Contact 6s, and they kind of wore down as that. So you probably get around 30,000 miles out of them. I don't know if it's just the tire, the Continental with a great tire, or the Qashqai itself. I would rotate the tires after say 10,000 miles, put the fronts on the back and then so on, just to try and get a bit more life out of them. So these ones here are a cheaper band. They have a good bit of tread on them, as you can see. We'll see how they last. Being a cheaper tyre, you never know. Obviously, we'll know the mileage and I'll keep you updated. One thing I did notice also on the other Qashqai was the rear splash guard inside the inner arches was made out of like a fabric. It's not like plastic on some models, and I found it kind of catches in the environment in the UK and Ireland. It's wet, you get mud, everything, it sticks to it, and it's harder to clean off than, let's say, a plastic inner arch. It's not really the end of the world. I just would have thought a plastic inner arch would have been the better idea to put inside of an arch for cleaning purposes. You know, this is just hold on to it. So yeah. Okay, so the engine area then, say petrol engine on this one, 1.3, engine code HR13DDT. If you're looking for the engine serial number, it is just located on the left hand rear of the block. There you can see it's pretty easy to access if you're looking to pick that up. This engine here it's a Nissan, Mitsubishi and Renault, developed with Daimler Chrysler. It's all aluminium engine on this one. Timing chain, not belt on this model here. Now it's advertised as a lifetime chain. People will say that. Nissan are saying that the timing chain is 300,000 kilometers or 180,000 miles to be changed. Keep an eye on it. Obviously, if you hear any rattles or anything like that on startup when you're driving, look into the timing chain. Get it looked at as soon as possible. The guides can break up, tensioners can break up. It's not just a chain you got to worry about snapping on these, so look into that. Engine oil for these ones is 5W30 C3. They recommend every oil changes at every 9,000 miles or 12 months. It's important to use the correct engine oil for not just for the life of the engine, your timing chain, your moving parts, etc. But on modern vehicles with the cats and everything, you have to use the correct engine oil. You can do a lot of damage and decrease the life of your cat using the wrong engine oil. So don't just put cheap out and put something you just found in the garage into it. Make sure you get the correct one in. You know, it does make the engine last longer, and it's going to give you, so you don't have problems down the road with filters and cats and stuff like that. It helps to prolong the engine life as well. There has been a few things I've noticed online when I was reading up about them. People saying about oil usage and carbon buildup. As long as you give it a good drive, keep it, keep temperatures up, you should get minimum carbon buildup. Stopping and starting short distances, yeah, you will get it. Direct injection engines nowadays, yeah, they can give that problem. And oil usage as well, I'll keep an eye on that. I have checked the oil on this one, and I've noticed already that it was serviced before we picked it up, and they've managed to fill the oil too high. I don't know how they managed to do this. It's this dealer it come from, the oil's too high, so I might have to take a bit of the oil out of it. This one here, say, has the manual gearbox on it. I was trying to find out about the oil and the oil interchange intervals on this one here. I couldn't find anything. There's nothing in the service book. It just says to check for leaks on every service. I think it's pretty similar to the old 6-speed gearbox. That one there was 6 years or 54,000 miles, the oil change onto it. I will look up a bit more what sort of oil goes into this gearbox and sort of change intervals, and I will do an update on that. Yeah, see your battery over here. We had to put a battery into the old Qashqai. The stop start system does drain the batteries down a bit. We'll see how this one spans out. I think at the moment that's everything about the engine. Now we'll talk about the one other thing there was actually, sorry, just one of the problems I've noticed people talking about online and to watch out for is thermostat housings have been leaking. There is 2 different types of models, an old and a new one. You could just see the thermostat housing. I'll just get you in the camera. There it is there. I have a picture I'm going to stick up at the end. Now, to me, this looks like this thermostat housing is not the upgraded one. If you could just see, just in the middle, it looks like a little gasket. The newer one, I think, is sealed. So I'm going to have to keep a lookout on this. If you've bought one of these, that's the problem to watch out for if they're talking about thermostat housing leaking. Keep on. They have been reports of engine seizures due to overheating. You must be losing a hell of a lot of water very quickly for your engine to seize up quickly. But just keep an eye on it if you're looking into buying one of these, or even if you own one already. Just check it for leaks regularly and contact either Nissan about a replacement thermostat housing if you've got any problems. I think off the top of my head they're about 260 quid for a housing. That's the only sort of main thing I've seen in forums and stuff people talking about. Okay then, the hybrid system. So the 1.3 engine develops 158 brake horsepower. This vehicle has 2 batteries fitted to it. What you have now on the vehicle, you still have your original alternator for charging your batteries. On the back end of it is a eco motor or a starter generator. I'll just show you a picture of it here. There's your eco motor on the back of your alternator. What this does is, when you're decelerating, the eco motor generates the energy from deceleration and charges your 2 batteries. When the vehicle is stopped, the engine stops, the idling stop state is set, and the vehicle's electrical equipment is driven by electricity stored in the batteries. So when your batteries, when you're stopped, will power your car's electrics. When the engine is restarted, the 2 battery systems are separated with one battery powered eco motor, so your eco motor here, to restart your vehicle. So that's going to be your new starter motor now, instead of your original flywheel and gear driven starter motor. To restart an air battery powered electric equipment, as a result of this, the power is always being supplied to the batteries equally. The eco motor is always connected to the crankshaft via a belt, so you've got a big serpentine belt on the front of it. Thereby it's quieter and smoother engine restart on these hybrids, they reckon, than the conventional starter motor. You have 2 crankshaft sensors on these, so for detecting crankshaft position for a quicker restart. It's got a better detection of angles, and so it makes it quicker for the fuel injection system to be precisely controlled. Now, when accelerating, the eco motor here provides torque to the engine via the belt, which helps with fuel economy, and it helps labour the engine more. So it's a pretty clever system. If you look down, it's very hard to see on this, there's a new tensioner system on it. You have 2 tensioners, kind of set up like this, and they have to, with a big spring in the middle, which could shift to put the tension on the belt where it's needed for starting or for decelerating. So it's a clever bit of kit. I can expect that to not be a cheap part to replace when it does go wrong, with everything involved and going on in it. I've not had to replace one yet. Don't know about the price, but I can see it being a few quid's worth. Something you have to just take into consideration, you can get a lithium battery for these vehicles. It gives you more discharge on the idle down state. So if you take your foot off the accelerator, the lithium ion battery version will actually start taking charge earlier down the acceleration process, and it gives you more power during the acceleration process. So the lithium battery gives you a bit more power and torque onto your starter generator when you want to accelerate them. It says I've heard about this before. It's the first car I've actually driven with this system in, so it's going to be a bit of a experimental phase, see how it gets on. It's quite a pokey car, 158 brake horsepower. You put your foot down, it does move. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but for a little 1.3 engine, there is power there. So then, just to summarize the car, it's a safe, reliable family transport. That's what we want. That's what Nissan designed it for. It's not a sports car. It's supposed to be economical to get the kids back around from school, do the shopping and keep the missus happy. It looks nice. It's got all the modern toys on it. There's a lot of technology in these cars nowadays. The Qashqai does have it all inside for a fairly reasonably priced vehicle. I know these kind of, they are sort of subject to a family car. It keeps the missus happy, so you can have your toys on the side. What I'll do is I'll keep an update on anything goes wrong with the car, maintenance, anything that I've missed that you would like to look into more, just stick in the comments, and we can look into. And I'll just keep the review going and keep you updated on the progression of the new Qashqai. Thanks for watching.